Hello there friends, it is Milmo here and I am back for this Telltale part number 2. This is going to be the second act. As you see there, the big old team grade or recommended team grade of the A++. So we will pick out a team here, probably stick with the team we've been using through these last few ones and see what we go. So we'll just stick with this team. We'll be on par with that recommended team grade and stick with the A++ team here, led by that 4-star fast Jesus, which is one of the better 4-stars around. I remember in the early days of this game, he was a very OP character. Now, of course, a lot more 5-stars are introduced and a lot of good quality 4-stars. And that, normal 75 AP of his has become probably a bit of a burden to him, but he's still a great character regardless. And if his rush does go off, it is able to kill a lot of people very quickly. So it is still a nice rush. Unfortunately, the AP just isn't as fast as some of the other 4-stars out there, or even some of the 5-stars, but he's still a good character regardless. So we got him there. He gives a small boost to drop rates and also that plus 20% attack. And then we just got him surrounded by a bunch of greens in there: Joshua, Chuck, also Heath and Michonne. Now they're all 4-stars obviously, and they are a nice bunch of 4-stars. You've got a couple of top quality 4-stars in there, Chuck and Jesus. Chuck is probably the better of that team in there in regards to his AP and damage. He is one of the better 4-stars going around, along with some of the big hitters like Maggie. And I just realised actually that last wave I struggled a bit more than I had to because I had no weapons, so we'll just fire them up with the actual weapons this time and hopefully we'll do a bit more damage. Starting off well here. Last round I wasn't doing that much damage, and so that was the reason why I had stock weapons, so I definitely rushed into that one. Like I said, Chuck is one of the better 4-stars going around. You got people like Molly, some of the few new alerts coming out like the Mark and things like that. It's some nice 4-stars, but Jesus isn't that bad either. Joshua is another nice one. Heath is a pretty good one. That Michonne with that downing of the attack is a nice one. Like I said, Chuck is probably the better of the 5 there, but they are all nice little 4-stars to have and to be having in a team, I guess to say. And as you can see, they're pretty much wiping the floor in these early stages with these characters. Just got to make sure you use your trait bonuses as much as possible to make sure you're getting rid of those characters as quick as possible. Less damage you're taking, the better. Less people there to hit you, the better. That's what you want. So just use those trait bonuses as much as possible, but also be wary of opposite traits. If you're able to, I guess, get rid of another trait or sort of immobilize them in regards to, disarm their full potential to attack you or their defense so you can kill them easier. Always do things like that because you want to get rid of the opposite trait as quick as possible also. Now we went back to the zombies for this third stage, so we'll bring in the Rick-led zombie killing team here. Basically the Reds, yeah, we'll call them the Red and Michonnes. The Reds and Michonnes, yeah, that makes sense. And they'll just come in and wipe their way through this. I do have Connor's plus 35 crit rush if I feel the need to use it, but at the moment they're getting through it easy enough and I don't feel the need to use that rush just yet. If they get a bit close or they're not making as many headshots as I would like, I'm going to definitely start using not only Connor's plus 35 rush but Rick's plus 30 rush just to get me through their stages. You got to make sure you're taking advantage of your rushes. I always say in regards to zombies, if you can try and bring in at least one crit rush, it is an added bonus. It will not only take away from the amount of battle items you will use, but it will just leave you, I guess, have an ease on your shoulders sort of thing, because if something does go sour or it looks like it's gone sour, you're able to just whack on that crit, extra crit, and you're ready to go. If you have your battle items, you can whack on another plus 20 crit with the nitric oxide and sharpshooters. So if you do have a player with these crit rushes, make sure you get them leveled up so you're able to use them And make sure you definitely put them in a nice, make a decent zombie team. It's no different to making your people teams, in which we've got back here, we've got people again. It's no different. You want to make sure you're setting up a nice zombie team that is not only one zombie team, but a mixture of zombie teams. I have a few different zombie teams. I use an all green one, I can use an all yellow, I can use a mixture of traits, I can use traits that are all crit. So it's no different to when you're setting up team for defense and then attack and then certain traits and things like that. So just make sure you know, got a few different options when it comes to not only people teams but zombie teams, which I guess gets easier the more you play this game, because the bigger your roster will get and the more players you'll have and the more you have them upgraded, so you'll be able to use them that more. But definitely don't be afraid to sort of experiment with different teams, because sometimes you can find some really good combination in the oddest places, so always give it a go. Like I said here, these guys are doing okay. We just lost Michonne there because we're taking on a bunch of strong. Just be wary of the opposite trait, because in these later stages, even though it's not a high recommended team grade, you just got to be wary if you don't have a high health team yourself. So my team ain't particularly high on health, but so just be wary of the opposite traits, because it only takes a few hits sometimes and you lose a player. And you know, you only had 3 spell and salts. I don't have a reviver in here, so you just got to be wary of those things. And also make sure you're using those trait bonuses, or will go to help you in the end to hopefully get through this stage and get them tokens and that elite character token, which, you know, fingers crossed at least someone out there pulls out a 5-star with that elite token. Here's to hoping. We'll keep going. So they're changing. It's a bit funny here. They're changing between zombies and people. So we've had a couple zombies stages, people, zombie, people. So it's like mixed match. It's usually they've got a big chunk of like first 4 zombies and the last 2 people or something like that. But they're actually mixing and matching fairly quickly here. So one stage will be zombies, the next will be people, the next zombies, and we'll just keep going through. So I definitely would recommend having probably 2 different teams. You don't really necessarily need 2 different teams if you're not got a particularly high team grade. It will probably come in handy just purely because you're going to have a team that's set up for people and then a team that's set up for zombies, and with these lower team grades you're less versatile with that. With higher team grades you'll just smash through anything and you don't really need to change up your team too much. So just make sure I guess you're taking that into consideration when you're doing this. And that is the stage 5 done. We've had a few different people and zombie stairs. We'll see what the rest has to come. Bye.